Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Caesar's Palace for 12 rounds of boxing. In the red corner, from Los Angeles, California, wearing the red trunks with the gold trim, weighing in at 125 pounds, the lightweight champion of the world, Danny Little Red Lopez. Well, Bill, our winners get a home theater receiver. That's right. Experience the full potential of high-definition video with this 72-channel digital home theater receiver from Yamaha. But wait, that's not all. They also get a 5.1-channel surround sound system from Mirage. With 5 palm-sized speakers and a compact subwoofer cube, the MX 5.1 brings you huge immersive sound with Mirage's omnipolar technology. All from the Spiegel catalog, Chicago, Illinois, 60609. And they're taking closer order as down the stretch they come. Mr. Hot Stuff has 3 lengths to make up with chocolate candy last. On the rail, take the points behind that gallant son with chocolate candy gaining on the outside. In the lead is Pioneer of the Nile being tackled by chocolate candy. They're neck and neck as they come to the wire. And Pioneer of the Nile holds off chocolate candy and wins the Santa Anita Derby. And now, on your feet, time to greet holder of 14 NBA titles, your home team, your Los Angeles Lakers. Number 3 at 6'8", 5th year out of UCLA, playing forward, Trevor Ariza. Starting at center, number 17 at 7 feet, 4th year out of St. Andrews High School, Andrew Bynum. And at guard, number 24, 6'6", 13th season out of Loyal Marion High School, Kobe Bryant.
The hardest word to truly master has been the word ass. Ass. I thought it's really easy. It means a butt. But no. Like yes, sometimes it can mean a butt, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. Like there are so many meanings to the word ass. I think it's the most complicated word in English. I've been trying to write a whole dictionary about just ass. There's so many. Like for example, lazy ass. That means lazy. like my lazy ass husband, it's the same sentence without the ass. The ass is just optional there. It's, and long ass means long. Like a long ass flight. It's a long flight. But if you want to make it longer, you can add ass. And my definite favorite one, a grown-ass man. It turns out it means a grown man. The entire man has grown. Not only his ass.
Good morning, it's Tuesday, Trump Tuesday, October the 7th, and this is The True Conservative. Welcome to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there. I'm Ron, your host, and the only true conservative in the United States today. So today, after the Serenity Prayer and the patriotic song of the day, we will have Varney and Company, motivation, meditation, and Donald Trump. All that and more when I get back. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I should not change, the courage to change the things I should, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Thank you. Final thoughts from Maria Bartiromo, then Varney and Company.
Your thoughts?
Maria, I'm still watching this shutdown. It's at a stalemate. I hope Republicans don't give an inch, though, on the Obamacare subsidies because it's disingenuous. It's dishonest. Those were part of the American Rescue Plan. It wasn't even part of the original Obamacare law, and they want to extend it in perpetuity and just make that kind of run on autopilot.
Yeah, I mean, Senator Mike Rounds from South Carolina had an idea that the subsidies would be extended for 1 year, which would then be followed by a 1-year phase down to return the tax credits to pre-COVID levels. But the Republicans are not going to listen to any ideas while they're being held hostage in this government. They want the government reopened, Mike. But look, this market doesn't even care. We're rallying again in further record territory right now.
Yeah, look, there have been enough government shutdowns where we know it really doesn't affect markets. But like another day, another higher market, and more Democrat corruption.
Yeah, there you go. Cheryl.
Maria, I looked at, okay, so the New Yorkers for lower cost, that's the 78% of money that went to Zohran Mamdani. A lot of it from California. They're looking to go socialist. That's the Democratic Party, the new one.
There you go, California. Thank you for that. All right, Michael Lee, Caroline Downey, Cheryl Casoni, thank you. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. Varney and Company picks it up now. Stu, take it away.
All right. Good morning, Maria. Good morning, everyone. We're counting the days of the government shutdown. We're up to 7, and we are beginning to see some impact that hurts. Delays and cancellations at several airports. There is already a shortage of air traffic controllers. Now, some are calling out sick. They have to work during the shutdown, but they only get paid retroactively when it's over. 11,800 delays since Sunday, 176 cancellations. On the financial markets, no obvious impact so far. However, Bitcoin and gold have hit records. Perhaps these are safe havens. Bitcoin hit $26,000 last night. $126,000 last night. It's 125 now. It's backed off just a little on that. Gold still closing in on $4,000 an ounce right. Well, there it is. $4,003 an ounce. Well, after hitting record highs Monday, no serious retreat this morning for stocks. It's going the other way. Modest gains. The Dow up about 80, S&P 11, NASDAQ up 74 points. Interest rates, though, they are creeping higher. The yield on the 10-year Treasury reaching 4.16, and the 2-year close to 3.60, actually going above it, 3.61. The price of oil, $61 a barrel and down a little. Gas edging lower, $3.12 on average for regular, and half the country pays $3 or less. Look at that. Politics. President Trump announces 25% tariffs on imported trucks effective November 1st. Now, the president made the announcement just as he welcomes Canada's Prime Minister Carney at the White House. Canada exports a lot of those trucks to America. No doubt the new tariffs will be discussed. On the show today, AOC says, laugh at MAGA men. She says they are insecure in their masculinity. She gets personal about Stephen Miller, a senior Trump advisor. The best way to beat MAGA men, she says, is to make fun of them. We'll have a couple of MAGA men on the show today, and they will respond. Brandon Steiner joins us. He has the largest collection of baseball cards in the world. He's got 4 million of them. He has every top set issued since 1948, and he's the man who dismantled the original Yankee Stadium. You'll meet him. It is Tuesday, October 7th, 2025.
And that was Maria Bartiromo and Stu Varney. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, Donald Trump.
Hola, mi fellow Americanos, y bienvenidos al cierre de Schumer. That means welcome to the Schumer shutdown. We call it the Schumer siesta, right? It's the Schumer siesta. He put the government on siesta, crying Chuck. And El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries, we used to call him Dollar Store Obama, till we realized he's worth far less than $1. But they put the government on siesta to give illegal aliens your health care. We're not going to let it happen. I looked at both of them. I said, we're not going to let it happen. It's no bueno. I said, it's no bueno. They begged me. They said, but senor, por favor, please give illegal aliens the health care. I said, we're not going to do it. We're never going to do it. It's not going to happen. And they're also very upset about our big, beautiful sombreros. You look at them. These are the greatest sombreros the world has ever seen. We really have the best sombreros, and everybody wants one except Crying Chuck and El Hakimo Jefe Jeffries. They don't want one, but they're going to wear one when all is said and done. We're going to end the siesta. We're going to reopen the government, and we will not give in to the demands of Chuck and El Jefe. We're not going to do that. Thank you. God bless you. Dios lo bendiga, and God bless America. Thank you.
And that was a little bit of President Trump. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now this.
Y'all, I'm a truck driver, right? Let me tell you the effects of Donald Trump. This company called me begging me to work for them because they couldn't find drivers anymore. Why couldn't they find drivers? Because Donald Trump instituted that you must speak English in order to hold a CDL. That means people who are natural-born Americans, people who have been here for centuries, who built the country, now we get opportunities that all these foreigners would get. Say what you want to about Trump. I'm not saying he's not racist, but what he's doing positively affects me. Now the jobs that were going to illegal immigrants, that they were working for pennies on the dollar, now it goes to a natural-born, full-blooded American.
And except for the racist part, a pretty good testimonial. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little bit of motivation.
You want to reach greatness? You want to make every single one of your dreams a reality? You want to live like a winner? Well, you got to be willing to grind every fucking day. You got to be willing to put in more energy and more effort than you ever have. It's going to take you reaching the level of what you would normally call your limit and going past it.
Because every limit you have is one that you set yourself in your own mind. You've accepted it as your standard at one point or another. So now is the time to decide that you are going to go higher. You are going to work harder. You are going to go further. You are going to raise your game.
When you start forcing yourself to go harder, getting up earlier, going to bed later, not letting yourself off the hook when it's the weekend, when everyone else is having a good time, people are going to think you're crazy. They're going to make fun of you. They're going to call you a psycho. They're going to talk shit about you and spread rumors about you and try to tear you down.
So what do you do about those people? It's simple. You don't fight back. You don't waste your energy defending yourself. You don't have to say a single word. All you do is grind in silence and let your success make the noise.
Your execution, your actions, your completed tasks will speak for themselves. They will be the things that talk the loudest about who and what you are.
And when you do this, you become a champion. Champions are built from execution. They aren't made sitting around gossiping about other people's lives and whatever the hell they're doing. No, they're made by getting shit done.
So you don't waste time worrying about what everyone else is doing or what anyone else thinks of you. You just do whatever the it takes to get whatever the hell you want.
It's easy to beat most people and get ahead. Why? Because the world's lazy. That's where you gain the advantage. Everyone will talk about it, they'll post about it, they'll make plans about it, but nobody wants to roll up their sleeves and just go get it.
Most people quit at the slightest struggle. Most avoid the hard yards. They won't spend extra time studying. They won't push past their comfort.
Because yes, it's tough, it's grim, it's solitary, and that's my edge. That's where I separate myself from the crowd. When you're grinding away in the dark hours, when everyone else is sleeping, taking time off, chilling out, and you're working your ass off, you get miles ahead of everyone. You're going to get to the point where you are so much further ahead of all those people that they don't even understand how you can get that much stuff done.
And the secret to your success is going to be blood, sweat, and tears. Because nobody ever gets anywhere great with an easy ride. You gotta be willing to work like hell in order to get there. The best in the world at anything did not get there by mistake. They keep working and keep working and keep working and never take their foot off the gas. They never stop. They never quit. And they never allow anyone else's opinions or criticisms of what they're doing with their life steer them off course. They shut all of that shit out and focus on getting the work done.
And when you see those people judging you and ridiculing you, you want to know the best way to shut them down? You kill them with massive success. You prove them wrong with results. Because nothing succeeds like success.
Who cares what they say? Just execute. Who cares what they think? Just execute. Execution is worshipped. And when you get it done, you'll show the world what you're really made of. When you start acting in your best interest and going above and beyond everyone else, you're going to lose some friends. Not everybody is going to approve of you. There's some people that won't like you. Who do you think you are? You think you're better than all of us. You're arrogant. What do you think you can do? You're selfish. When you hang around average people, all you're going to hear is average thoughts and opinions. They don't speak a winner's language. All they're going to tell you is what they think is possible based on their own limitations they've set in their mind. Don't let that shit affect you and your mindset. That's their limits, not yours. It has nothing to do with you. You can do whatever you believe you can do. The only person's permission you need to get it done is your own.
Do you know what crazy means? Crazy means that you have the ability to see things that other people can't. That's what crazy means. And if you're not fucking crazy, you're never going to succeed at anything in life. Everybody has got to be a little bit off. Anybody that's done something great, they don't think like anybody else. They can't. And the people that tell you you can't do it, you know what your response to them is? Watch me. Watch me. Watch me. Watch me.
And that was a little bit of motivation. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now a little meditation.
Welcome, dear one. Right now, you've arrived exactly where you need to be. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to make sleep happen. All you need is to allow it. To give your body the space, the permission to rest. And I'm here with you. Let's begin together. Take a soft, steady breath in through your nose and gently breathe out through your mouth. Again, inhale slowly and exhale fully. Letting go of the day. With every breath, feel your body beginning to relax. Your shoulders dropping, your jaw softening, your belly gently rising and falling. There's nowhere to go, nothing to solve. Right now, you are safe. Now, on your next exhale, let's add a gentle hum, like this. Feel the vibration in your throat. This soft sound activates your vagus nerve. It's your body's built-in switch for calm. Inhale deeply as you breathe out. Let's do that again. Inhale deeply and hum softly. Good. Feel that gentle wave of relaxation moving through you. Now, imagine a soft golden light starting at the top of your head, slowly flowing down over your face, your neck, your shoulders, melting downward, softening everything it touches. This light is calming your nervous system, letting your body know it's time for deep rest. There's nothing you need to do. It's already happening. Let's speak these gentle words together in your mind. I am safe to relax. My nervous system knows how to heal. With every breath, I let go of what I don't need. I welcome deep, peaceful sleep now. Take one last slow, full breath in and a long, soft breath out. Feel your whole body loose, relaxed, open. Let go of needing to control this moment. Let sleep find you, naturally, gently, easily. If you're already drifting, stay with it. If you're still here with me, just rest. Just be. There's nothing to fix, nothing to change. Only this softness, only this calm. Thank you for sharing this space with me. You are safe. You are loved. You are ready to sleep. Good night, and see you in the next meditation.
And that was a little bit of meditation. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now Donald Trump again.
What are you doing? Thank you very much, Linda. Okay, any questions, please?
Mr. President, as we inch closer to a government shutdown this morning, you said you might do a lot of layoffs. If DOGE is already reducing the federal workforce, why is it necessary to link more federal jobs cut to a shutdown?
Well, the Democrats want to shut it down, so when you shut it down, you have to do layoffs. So we'd be laying off a lot of people that are going to be very affected, and the Democrats, they're going to be Democrats. As you know, this country, no country can afford to pay for illegal immigration, health care for everybody that comes into the country, and that's what they're insisting. And obviously, I have an obligation to not accept that. That would affect everybody. You know, when I see what we're doing with AI and all the plants that are opening up in the country, $17 trillion is coming. And if you compare that to Biden had, in 4 years, less than $1 trillion. We have $17 trillion, more than that. I think it's going to be much more than that, David. By the end of this year, I think it's going to be far over that. It's a record. It's already a record in 8 months. It's a record by a lot. And so we're doing well as a country, so the last thing we want to do is shut it down. But a lot of good can come down from shutdowns. We can get rid of a lot of things that we didn't want, and they'd be Democrat things, but they want open borders. They want men playing in women's sports. They want transgender for everybody. They never stop. They don't learn. We won an election in a landslide. They just don't learn. So we have no choice. I have to do that for the country. Yes.
And that was Donald Trump. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, a little bit of Victor Davis Hanson making a big mistake.
Hello, this is Victor Davis Hanson for the Daily Signal. Donald Trump is sending federalized troops into Portland, Oregon, because the ICE detention center and headquarters there is under veritable assault, especially in the night hours. In other words, Antifa-like protesters surround the facility. They make it almost impossible to drive in and out, and they're trying to disrupt the idea itself that the federal government has a right to apprehend illegal aliens that have warrants out for their deportation.
Okay, so did you catch it? Did you catch his mistake? He said that the government has the right to fill in the blank, doesn't matter what. In this particular case, deportations. Government has no rights. No rights. You cannot have a government, a society, in which there are dueling rights, in which the government has rights and the people have rights. You can't have a society like that. Then the judiciary is put in the middle to make the decision as to whose rights are more important at any given time. And that's a no-go. We can't have a society like that. we will eventually destroy ourselves, because we will, with dueling rights, we will be able to unable to defend ourselves from enemies, both foreign and domestic. So, Victor Davis Hanson, huge mistake here. Shame on you. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now Europe 1.
C'est lunaire. C'est-à-dire que la nomination de Bruno Le Maire hier comme ministre montre la déconnexion totale d'Emmanuel Macron avec le peuple. Faut rappeler qui est Bruno Le Maire. C'est l'homme qui avait fait 2,4% à la primaire de la droite en 2016 et pour autant, dès 2017, il a été ministre de budget. C'est-à-dire que ça a été le plus long ministre de l'économie de la Ve République. Il est responsable et comptable des 1000 milliards d'euros d'augmentation de la dette. Il a d'ailleurs surestimé les recettes fiscales en 2024. Il ne savait même pas compter, à tel point qu'il y a eu une audition de Bruno Le Maire au Sénat et que le Sénat lui a reproché cela. Il a qualifié cela d'incompétence. Et ensuite, Bruno Le Maire, lorsqu'il est parti, après justement avoir fait croire que finalement c'était un génie, il est devenu prof d'économie en Suisse et même les étudiants n'en voulaient pas. Il y avait une manifestation de certains étudiants qui disaient mais à quel moment l'homme qui a ruiné la France nous donnerait des cours d'économie? Et surtout, il y a 15 jours, il a dit qu'il ne se rendrait pas dans un gouvernement. Il a changé d'avis donc en l'espace de 2 semaines. C'est l'homme également, Bruno Le Maire, qui était capable de dire qu'il consacrait tout son temps à sauver l'économie française, mais qui dans le même temps a publié quand même 6 livres. On se demande quand est-ce qu'il trouvait du temps pour le faire.
And that was Europe 1. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now from a book that's called Good Inside. What's the opposite of understanding? For this argument's sake, it's convincing. Convincing is the attempt to prove a singular reality, to prove that only one thing is true. Convincing is an attempt to be right, and as a result make the other person wrong. It rests on the assumption that there's only one correct viewpoint. And then my question is this supposed to be convincing? Further, convincing has one goal in mind, being right. And here's the unfortunate consequence of being right. The other person feels unseen and unheard, at which point most people become infuriated and combative, because it feels as if the other person does not accept your realness or worth. Feeling unseen and unheard makes connection impossible. Understanding 2 things are true and convincing 1 thing is true are diametrically opposed ways of approaching other people, so a powerful first step in any interaction is to notice which mode you're in. When you're in 1 thing is true mode, you're judgmental of and reactive to someone else's experience because it feels like an assault on your own truth. As a result, you will seek to prove your own point of view, which in turn makes the other person defensive because they need to uphold the realness of their experience. In 1 thing is true mode, exchanges escalate quickly. Each person thinks they're arguing about the content of the conversation when in fact they're trying to defend that they are a real, worthy person with a real, truthful experience. And again, is this convincing? Back in a minute. Thank you. And now we've got Jeffrey Mead.
We have some major news right now. ICE is turning Chicago into an active war zone, deploying military helicopters and using chemical agents against protesters in Chicago. This is a very serious situation, and it's only getting worse with each passing day.
This is manipulative. And it's purposely manipulative, and I'm going to explain why. The first way this is manipulative is because he's framing law enforcement operations as literal warfare, which it's not. But the goal is to evoke emotion over accuracy. Words like war zone instantly trigger fear, outrage, and emotional urgency. It makes people visualize civilians under military assault, and it works to control how people interpret the event. And they want to change it from a federal enforcement operation, which is perfectly legal under law. They want to change that to the government waging war against its own civilians. which it's not. It's manipulative. It distorts the scale of what's happening, and it also distorts the intent of what is taking place. Again, they want to make a situation sound like warfare when it's actually just policing, law enforcement. Here's another thing that's manipulative. Notice how he uses the two words chemical agents. It has a military warfare ring to it, often associated with things like mustard gas and sarin gas. But what ICE is actually using is tear gas, pepper balls, pepper spray, and smoke grenades. Chemical agents is technically true. It's intentionally vague, and it allows people to imagine worse things, which is the goal. Let's compare the emotional weight. If they say ICE used tear gas and smoke grenades and pepper spray to disperse rioters or aggressive protesters, that's clearly within law enforcement norms. But if they say ICE used chemical agents against protesters, well, that sounds like war crimes. The goal is to manipulate people's emotions into being outraged against Donald Trump and the right. That is what he's doing. And that is what many people on the left are doing. Misrepresenting such.
And that was Jeffrey Meade. So what I'd like to tell the guy that's going on about, well, they're turning it into a war zone is, that's right. And there's nothing you can do about it. You have no authority, no power, and you can't win. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now, what does the phrase, if you're explaining you're losing, mean in debates? This was said by Ronald Reagan, speaking of political campaigns. From the perspective of your audience, if you have to explain yourself, you come off looking desperate to convince. As a consequence, you lose the high ground. From a more philosophical perspective, when you have a clear conscience and strong conviction towards the positions you take, your values, truth, and direction, you don't need the opinions or consent of others. As a consequence, you don't need to explain yourself. However, if you yourself are not convinced of the validity and truth of your position, or you can't fully justify your choices, then you continue to expel words in an attempt to create the illusion of certainty. Back in a minute. Thank you. And now, GB News.
Let me see if I've got this right. The UK gave citizenship to a man whose name literally translates to jihadi from Syria. After receiving that gift from the British people, he was arrested for rape. A British judge thought it was appropriate to give him bail and let him back out on the streets. While on bail, he slaughtered Jews at a synagogue on the Jewish holiday of Yom Kippur. I'm done. I'm done with the euphemisms. I'm done with the crocodile tears. I'm done with the calls for unity. I'm done being told not to hate. And I'm done skirting around uncomfortable truths. So let's list them. Uncomfortable truth 1. Multiculturalism hasn't merely failed. It has embedded sectarian violence on the streets of the UK and cost countless lives, most recently the lives of Adrian Daubly and Melvin Kravitz in Manchester. Again, strength and love to their families. Uncomfortable truth 2, diversity is not our strength. It has never been our strength, and in fact it has now become our greatest weakness economically and culturally. And I'm yet to hear any coherent argument for its value that doesn't default to, well, we get good restaurants out of it, which isn't good enough justification for complete cultural and social fracture. And besides, we've got the recipes now anyway. Uncomfortable truth 3. Islamism is a cancer on the UK, and more citizens will die as a result of appeasing it. We need to say these uncomfortable truths loudly and whilst we still can. Islamophobia laws are coming, ladies and gentlemen, as the great Christopher Hitchens predicted 16 years ago.
It is very urgent business, ladies and gentlemen, I beseech you. Resist it while you still can, and before the right to complain is taken away from you, which will be the next thing. You will be told you can't complain because you're Islamophobic. The term is already being introduced into the culture as if it was an accusation of race hatred, for example, or bigotry, whereas it's only the objection to the preachings of a very extreme and absolutist religion. Watch out for these symptoms. They are just symptoms of surrender.
I've watched that clip so many times and it gets more poignant with every watch.
And that was GB News. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now the preamble to the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed, that whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or to abolish it, and to institute new government, laying its foundation on such principles and organizing its powers in such form as to them shall seem most likely to affect their safety and happiness. Back in a minute. Thank you. Now, little Georgia Meloni.
Buongiorno a tutti. Saluto le sue eminenze, il cardinale Artime, cardinale Simoni. Ricordo che San Francesco insegnava anche il rispetto nell'ascolto, rispetto nel comprendersi, rispetto nel capire le ragioni degli altri.
And that was Georgia Meloni. Back in a minute. Thank you. This is Ron, your host, the only true conservative in the United States today, bidding adios to all the butchers, bakers, and candlestick makers out there, and reminding you that determinism is optional.